All right, hello and welcome back to our nitric oxide release session. This is our basics class. If you are wearing your B3 bands, we've already added air, so go ahead and do that now. If you're on the recording, you can hit pause. Otherwise, let's go ahead and come on up to our feet to get started. All right, we're gonna start with our standing cat-cow today. So stand nice and tall, feet just underneath the hips, draw the stomach in, send those hips back. You're gonna bring those hands to the bottom of the thighs. And then from here, as we blow the air out, you're gonna round your shoulders forward, draw that chin into the chest. And then when you're ready to breathe in, it's gonna be a nice soft arch. Lifting the chest, draw the shoulders back and down. Very good. Go through about 3 to 4 of those at your own tempo there, blowing out through the mouth. Rounding your spine, breathing in through the nose, soft arch in the spine. Wonderful. Try to keep those arms nice and straight. Long, deep breaths. Let's go one more cycle. Breathing out. Breathing in. Wonderful. And we'll finish on the exhale. And then on that inhale, go ahead and slide the hands up the thighs, coming on up to standing. And from there, we'll go into some soft rotations. Rotating through the torso, our little tree branch arms here. Turn the head and neck. You can start to allow those elbows to bend and softly tap against the torso, front of the rib cage and back of the rib cage. See if you can time the tap of your hands with your exhale. Good, couple more. Wonderful, return to the arms away from the body. And gradually bring yourself to a stop. Perfect. All right, go ahead and walk those feet in, draw the stomach up and in. We're gonna work just a little bit of balance here. You can steady yourself on a chair against the wall, working our ankle rolls, warming up those ankles. You need to set the foot down before you change directions, reestablish that balance, and then we'll switch sides, or directions rather. Very nice, keep lifting up. In between legs, let's circle those hips around, some soft hip circles. Loosen up the hips and low back. Very nice, and then reverse directions, taking it the other way. Wonderful, and then we're gonna move into those ankle circles on your second leg. Set that foot down, establish that balance, squeezing those shoulders back to draw the belly up. Feel free to rest if you need, and then roll the ankle the other direction. Wonderful. All right, from here, we're gonna start to move into our first exercise with our glute march. So you're gonna pull those heels up underneath, drive the arms at the sides, chest nice and tall. There you go. Anybody wants a faster rhythm, this is our basics class, but you could always run in place as well if you're comfortable with that. Pulling the heels up underneath. About 10 more seconds. There you go. Wonderful. From there, we're going into our half squat with the front raise. Go ahead and set your feet about hip width apart. Just a gentle toe out. And then when you're ready, you're going to send your hips back. Reach your arms out in front of the body, drive through your legs, squeeze your tush as you stand tall, down and up. Pulling back. Send that weight back into the heels as you try to keep your whole foot in contact with the ground, even that big toe. Notice how maybe it's going to tend to want to rise up on you. Good. Knees push wide. Breathing in as you lower down, breathing out as you stand tall. Breathe in, breathe out, couple more. Wonderful. From here, make your way to an elevated surface. We're going to work our elevated push-up next. So you're going to place the hands one under each shoulder. Walk the feet back, draw your stomach in so you're nice and strong. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to slowly lower yourself down, bringing your chest as close to the surface as you can, and then pushing away. As you lower your chest down, a couple of things we want to pay attention to. Shoulders drawing back and hips staying level to the shoulders. When those hips drop forward, it tends to arch the spine. You get to where you don't feel comfortable lowering down, you can always hold that plank at the top or shorten that range of motion. Wonderful, about 10 seconds left. Looks great, crew. Watch the elbows too. We tend to wing the elbows wide when we practice our push-ups, so draw them more in towards your sides. So they're not tight against the sides, but they're more drawn back than in. Let's go about one more rep if you got it. And standing tall, wonderful. If you have some light dumbbells around or a band, the dumbbells are going to be an easier transition. We're going to go into our bicep curl next. Just some light dumbbells. For the bicep curl, you're going to kind of attach those elbows in close to the sides of your body. And then when you're ready, just nice and simple. Bending the elbows, extending the elbows. This is our last exercise of this circuit, and this is our first of 3 sets. So the first round here kind of gives you the introduction to these movements. And then we'll be going back to that march or that glute kicker in about 10 seconds. But go ahead and breathe in through these curls. Very nice. Good, Shirley. Yep, elbows staying close. Don't let them wing wide. Nice, Diane. Very smooth, Amy. One more and rest. Good. If you want to keep holding the weights, you can. Otherwise, you can set them down. And we're going to go back to those glutes. I'm going to set them down and drive the arms at the side. So again, instead of focusing on the high knee position, we're focused on trying to pull the heels underneath our body. So you activate more of your hamstrings. Good. Get that breathing going. Wonderful. Our half squat is next. If you feel more comfortable doing like what we call a sit and stand to a chair, you're always welcome to squat to a chair. I'm demoing without today. All right, when you're ready, we're going to set those feet for that squatting position. If you want to hold a light weight for this, you can. So feet about hip width apart, draw the chin in, and then when you're ready, either raising a light weight up in front of the body or raising your arms up in front of the body. Breathing in, breathing out. In to lower, out to stand. Excellent. You want to feel that abdomen draw in towards the spine as you sit back. Good. Another 15 seconds or so here. Push up is the next exercise. Wonderful. The faster you move, the more burn you're going to feel, but obviously safety is our #1 concern. Last rep and transition to your push-up station. I recommend elevated push-ups. To place one hand underneath each shoulder, walk the feet back, draw the belly in, and when you're ready, try to keep those elbows in towards the sides and away. So I'm saying elbows in, I'm just saying not to wing them wide. Everyone here live looks great. Just want to make sure everyone understands. Halfway through on the push-up. Try to engage that lower body as well. Squeeze your tush. Flex your thighs as you push away. Beautiful. Last one. And coming up, making your way to that bicep curl. Picking up some light weights. Gluing those elbows in tight to the side. Soft bend in the knees. And then when you're ready, here we go. Chin in. Again, we'll breathe out as we're doing that challenging part. So on the curl, breathing out. On the extension, breathing in. Just like we talked about on the push-up, same thing here on the curl. While we're working our upper body, we can engage that lower body, trying to flex the thighs, squeeze the tush. Wonderful. This is the end of round 2. We're going to go through it one more time, going back to that glute march. 2, 1, and let's transition. Standing up nice and tall, driving the arms at the sides, and now pulling the heels under the body. Good. Once again, if you want to jog in place, that's always an option. Nice. And just try to line up with that breathing. You can breathe a little bit faster, get everything pumping a little bit deeper. Wonderful, 10 seconds. Our half squat to front raise is next. Smile, just have some fun with it. Wonderful, all right, getting ready for that squat. Option to hold a light weight. We're gonna walk those feet just about hip width apart, standing nice and tall, and then when you're ready, hips go back, knees push wide, and I try to anchor those feet into the floor, feeling my heels push down and those toes push down. Very good. So I found my breathing a little bit different on this one because of that raising that weight up makes it a little bit harder. So I find myself breathing out as I raise it up, breathing in as I stand. As long as you continuously breathe, that's what we're looking for. Last one. Beautiful. Push-ups. Final set of push-ups. All right, standing nice and tall, one hand under each shoulder. Walk the feet back. In 2, 1, here we go. Feel your chest open as you draw those shoulders back. You want to avoid those shoulders rolling forward on your push-up. Belly draws in, squeeze the tush, squeeze the glutes. Beautiful, 10 seconds. You get to where that push-up feels like it's going to start to fail out on you, hold the top of the plank. Otherwise, 1 or 2 more. And transition. Awesome job. Our final set of bicep curls. And that will be end of this first circuit. Draw those elbows in tight to the sides. Draw the belly in when you're ready. Just make sure you don't have your knees locked out, so I have just a little soft bend in my knees. Excellent. Go, curling it all the way up, and then try to extend those elbows all the way down. Get that full range of motion. We're only as strong as the range of motion that we work through. A lot of times injuries will happen at our end ranges where we might not have enough strength. So I'm always emphasizing full range. Good, final rep, and take a pause. Awesome work. All right. Out. If you have a water glass nearby, go ahead and grab a drink. I think mine's hiding behind my board. All right. Short break here. We're going to do a couple of stretches, and then we'll be into our second set. All right. I like to open up these hip flexors. So you're going to stagger the feet. You can either go arms overhead, or I'm going to demo from the shoulders here, rocking the hips back. Shift those hips forward, squeezing that push of the trail leg, and then gently rotate your body towards the leg you have forward. Try to turn the head and neck, squeeze that back side, and then unwind from there. We're gonna do that once more on this side. Rest the arms for a moment. Breathing in, raise the arms, lift the chest, shift that back hip forward, and then squeezing that tush, that trail leg, you're gonna gently rotate. Turning the head and neck, and then unwind from there. Wonderful. Same thing, opposite side. Switch the feet. One forward, one back. Midline in. Back to those I Dream of Genie arms. Hips back, hips forward. Squeeze the back of the body as you rotate towards that front leg. Couple of nice deep breaths here. Unwind. We'll do it one more time on this side. Shift those hips back, shift the hips forward, arms up, and a soft pivot here. Pivoting towards that lead leg, turn the head and neck. How far can you look over that shoulder? And shake it out. Wonderful. All right. So let's go. Good mornings on this first round, and then we'll work into some deadlifts as you feel ready. So for the first movement, if you want to hold a nice light weight up against your chest, or you can simply cross your arms over your shoulders. Now I'm walking my feet in so that my toes are pointing straight ahead. Draw the stomach up and in, soft bend in the knees. And then when you're ready, think long spine, sending your hips straight back, push through the feet, squeeze the tush as you stand tall. Breathing in as you lower that chest down, breathing out as you push through your legs. Wonderful. Over and up. There you go. It's a little bit tricky because you got to think about keeping that chest broad and then bending at the hips. Let's go one more time. Long spine, over, up, and rest. Wonderful. We're doing our overhead pulse next. I'm going to demo without weights. It's up to you if you'd like to use some weights. Just going to make some fists here or turn my palms to the sky and think like raise the roof. Good. Smile as you raise that roof. Good. Breathing out as you push up. Nice. Feel that blood pumping into the arms. 10 more seconds. Two, one, and rest. Shake out those arms. We're working into our lunge position next. Step your left foot forward. Right foot steps back. And now our feet are hip width apart. So we're not on our balance beam today. From here, you can just slightly bend down, having a little bit of a bend in that front leg, but the heel planted. And we're going to hold this position. If anybody is really comfortable with your lunges, you could turn it into a stationary lunge. But for the basics class, I'm showing a holding position. 20 seconds left. Squeeze those shoulders back and down. Make sure this knee doesn't shift forward. So feel like you're pushing away, pushing back towards you with that front heel to really hold that stable surface. Woo. That's it. And the deeper you are, the more you're going to feel that burn. Let's go about 5 more seconds. And 2, 1, walk it out. Very nice. In between sides, either jump jacks if you're comfortable with a jump jack, or our rotating arm circles here. I want you to focus mostly on the upper body, getting some nice full circles. So I'm just slightly clicking my index fingers in front of the body and then taking them up to overhead. There you go. Good. Keeping that blood flow going in that upper body. Yep. And I'm just gently swaying side to side, holding off on any kind of jump or too much movement in the feet so I can focus on those arms. Beautiful. All right, we're going to go back to that lunge stance now with your right foot forward. So standing tall, take a nice big step forward that right leg. Keep your feet hip width apart as you step that left foot back. And now just a very slight bend to that front knee and the back knee a little bit. Belly in, arms can hold out to the sides. And once again, anyone that's comfortable with your lunges, you can go all the way down, all the way up. We're demoing here from this stance position. Woo! Doesn't mean it's easy. 15 seconds left. Keep feeling like you're really pushing through the heel of that front foot. So you keep it planted, shin vertical, and 2, 1, and walk it out. Good job. If you want to catch your breath a little bit, take a rest break. If you want to keep that body moving, we're moving into our lateral step over. So stepping to the side. Pretend you have that imaginary hurdle. I could be stepping over Moose right now, I guess, but he's kind of in the way of the box. Over and back. This is our last exercise of this circuit. We're going to go through it one more time. Over and back. Over. Wonderful. All right, let's take about 15 to 20 seconds. We did those good mornings to start this circuit. So if you can either repeat that good morning, or we can start to go a little bit farther into the movement where we call it a deadlift. I'm going to hold the weight right between my legs, draw the belly in, squeeze the shoulders back, and then with a nice soft bend in the knees, you're going to push your hips back, bow your chest forward, slowly lowering that weight to the ground and squeeze the tush as you stand. Again, long spine, bowing down, standing tall. Yep. Inching over. And all the way up. We're going to go longer on this one now so we have a good amount of time to practice. So I'm breathing in as I lower down, helping to brace that spine. Wonderful. And then breathing out as I stand tall, looking to stack my shoulders right over top of the hips. Good. And think broad chest at the top. Looks nice, Amy. Good, Diane. Smooth, Shirley. Yep, all the way up. Take about another 10 seconds. We're going to that overhead pulse or overhead press next. 2, 1, and transition. All right, I'm gonna hold some lighter weights this time. If you tend to get stiff in your upper body, you can just use your fist. Make a fist and press overhead from there. When you're ready, we're gonna practice this for 30 seconds. Pressing up, lowering down. Whenever you're pressing overhead, there's that tendency of our spine to start to arch. So think about really drawing your front of your rib cage down and in so those ribs don't flare. And then squeeze that tush, squeeze your booty. Again, that's going to help stabilize and avoid that overarching of that lower spine. Nice. Let's go 1 or 2 more. Pressing up, lowering down, and rest. All right, back to that lunging work. It's some time to get people into position here. We're going to start with your left leg forward. When you're ready, big step forward, that left leg. Back foot can be up on the ball of the foot or back on the heel. And then we're going to slowly lower down into a quarter lunge here. Front heel planted. Just a minute, Moose, I'll let you out. Eyes up, squeeze those shoulders back. Once again, if you want to go all the way into that lunge, you can. Otherwise, just practice this position. If you have any discomfort in the knee, see if you can shift your weight back a little bit more to get out of any kind of discomfort. 10 seconds left. Option of those step, jump, or jump jacks next. All right, stepping out of that position, walk the feet in, and then our index finger circles to get that blood flow in the upper body, in front of the body and overhead. Excellent. And just a little shift back and forth. There you go, circling those hands. Keep it moving now. All right, buddy, must be an emergency. Go ahead. Woo! 10 seconds left, and then we're going to go to the right leg forward for the last bit of the lunge stance. And when you're ready, we'll start to set up for that second half of the lunge stance. Big step forward with your right leg, inch that left leg back, and then really note here, heel planted. You see, there's kind of a shadow there, a little bit hard to see. Soft bend in those knees, draw the stomach in, eyes up, shoulders back, and holding strong here. Very good. Yep, keep lifting through that chest now, beautiful. Nice broad open chest position. You've got 15 seconds left. If you need to come out of it sooner, by all means. Otherwise, holding strong. Continuously find that heel of the front foot. Kind of push yourself back through that heel. Keep the load out of the front knee. 2, 1, and step it out. Woohoo! Wonderful work, everyone. Either call it there and just wait for our cool down stretch or back to that lateral step over. Excellent. Chest tall. Really opening through the hips on this. If you feel unstable to step high, you could also hold on to a chair or the back of the couch to help really open up through those hips, raising that knee up. What does this mimic? In and out of the bathtub, up and over. I watch my mother-in-law step up and over the dogs that are at the house, right? So you want to be able to feel nimble through your body and mobile. All right, last time, up and over and back. Wonderful job. All right, those of you wearing the bands, go ahead and release that air. Woohoo! Let the air out of the arms. If you're wearing them, let the air out of the legs. Excellent. All right, I'm going to use a chair next because we're going to open up the body. We're just going to come down into a nice deep squat to really open up the joints. And if it's hard for you to get down into that squat, it's going to be easier if you have something to support your body with. Good job. Nice deep breaths here. We're moving into our cool down next, but we're going to get some really good mobility with it. So I have my feet hip width apart. I'm holding on to my chair. A countertop or a sink works well as long as your sink has enough stability. A couple of times I've used a sink and I felt like I was going to mess up the plumbing or something. Use your intuition here, coming on down, holding in the bottom of that squat, and then as you need, you can use the upper body as much as you need, but try to really drive down through those legs. When you come up to standing, just gently shift the hips side to side. We're gonna do that one more time. So eyes up. We don't want to look down. We want to continue to look forward. That's going to help keep that chest tall. And then knees are pushing out. I'm sending my hips as deep as I can, looking to avoid any kind of pain as you sink on down. And then pulling up and through. Wonderful. All right. Let's go ahead and take it down to a seated position. I'm going to stretch from there. Great work. All right, so as you stand up nice and tall, let's start with your left arm. You're gonna bring the hand to the shoulder. We're just gonna do about 5 backward circles here before we go into a little bit of a seated twist. As you're circling, you wanna try to feel that shoulder and imagine that shoulder blade lifting up and down around the rib cage. Excellent. So this is your left hand. You're gonna take your right hand, grab onto that opposite thigh. If you'd like to cross the leg over, you can. It is a little bit awkward if you still have those bands on your legs, but lift up. Now use that arm to pull into the thigh to help get some rotation through your spine. Turn the head and neck, peering over that shoulder. And then think about that left arm. Draw that elbow back as far as you can to get a bit of an opening through your chest. And let's breathe here for 3 more breaths. In through the nose, lengthen through your spine, gently out through the mouth. Twice more. Beautiful. When you're ready, go ahead and unwind from there. In between sides, we're going to do our seated forward fold. So we'll go hands on the thighs, chin looks down towards the chest, and then we're going to slide the hands down the legs. No need to force here. You just want to look for a nice soft stretch. Commonly, you're going to feel it either in the mid or the low back. And then send your breath into where you feel that stretch. So you can use stretching to help your breathing capacity, expand those lungs, expand that rib cage. One more deep breath in, breathing out. On the inhale, come back up to seated. All right. Same thing on the opposite side, starting with the shoulder circles. So bringing the hand up to the shoulder. And then we're going to circle backwards because our shoulders tend to be drawn forward. So we're going to invite them to sit back. Good. Roughly 5 times here. Very good. When you're ready, then you'll take the opposite hand to the opposite thigh. You can cross this leg over if you'd like. Sit up as tall as you can now as you pull into that thigh and turn your torso, looking over your right shoulder. On that inhale, think about elongating. Imagine someone's got a little string and they're just lifting your head up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, see if your body wants to go just a little bit deeper into that twist. Keep your neck long, eyes up. One more breath. And unwind from there. Wonderful. Uncross those legs. From here, let's go ahead and come back up to standing. Standing up nice and tall. And we're going to go into that tricky quad stretch to come into finishing out our session here. So as you stand tall, draw the stomach in. And this is one of our tougher stretches. We're trying to grab that foot, pull the heel towards the glutes. This can also be done lying down. Sometimes it's still hard to reach your foot on the ground, but remember this one so that you can do it on your own time. And if you can't get that foot, use a towel, use a scarf. One of your TheraBands can help you to wrap it around that ankle and get this stretch going for your body. All right, when you're ready, we're going to switch legs. Same thing, other side. Good stabilization. Remember, it's my job to make this look easy, so just do what you can do. You are on that one leg. Make sure that knee's not hyperextended. Always keeping a soft bend in that knee. Hold about another 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and releasing that side. Beautiful. All right, and then we're gonna end with where we finished with our standing cat-cow. So send those hips back, hands down to the thighs. On the exhale, chin to the chest, rounding through that spine. On the inhale, nice soft arch, drawing those shoulders back and down. Twice more, breathing out. Breathing in. Final time. All right, very good. Make sure you give yourself a little round of applause, even if you're just there by yourself. Acknowledge yourself for showing up, moving your body, helping yourself to be stronger, feel better. And we'll be back here live on Thursday.